This is Shawn Irwin, your youth director with Darts Ontario, and welcome to episode 37 of Darts Ontario. Let's talk darts. I wanted to talk to our youth players from past and present to see how they got into darts and their story to help inspire youth players of today. Thank you to our sponsor, SSS Canada, for all their support in the Darts Ontario organization. Go to their Facebook page to see the high-quality custom dart shirts, which you can order for your team or individually. I'm with Jolene Broadbent today, formerly of the London Youth Dart League, 2003 Team Ontario Youth member, and the Zone 2 Youth Zone Director. Thank you so much, Jolene, for coming on to do an episode of Darts Ontario, Let's Talk Darts. So how you doing today?
Not too bad. Yourself?
I'm doing great. I really appreciate you coming in and talking about some of your history of darts. You played youth darts way back, and let's go back to that time. When did you start playing darts and how old were you?
I don't know an exact age, to be honest. I know that I was walking. I think as soon as I could hit the board almost consistently, I was playing every Saturday morning at the Moose. So I had to be probably 5 or 6 years old. I started real young.
We see that a lot in a lot of different leagues. There's a lot of young youth that are playing in the league, but maybe not competitively yet.
Yeah.
So when did you start playing competitively, and who inspired you to do so?
Well, my mom and dad both played in league in London. My mom was actually on the executive for the ladies league here. So they were really into darts and really wanted to get me into it. So when I was very young and, like I said, consistently able to hit the board, I was in league already, like 7, 8 years old, consistently going out. So
Tell us about your experience playing in the London Youth Dart League.
It was a lot of fun, and it was I feel like it was different for me because my mom ran our league too. So when she took over, it was kind of like everybody looked to me for answers all the time. So when I finished playing youth, I ended up taking over our London program as well. But playing in our league, it was fun. The relationships that you build with people and the friendships that you make that continue on through darts long after youth darts are just, I'm so grateful for them. And I've made some really great, really close friends through the programs.
Talking to a lot of dart players, and that's the common thing is the social aspect of the game and meeting people all across the country of darts.
Yeah.
So how often did you practice as a youth during the season, and did you practice during the off season?
As a youth, I was playing all the time, as often as I could get on a board. I'd come home from school and the first thing I would do would be throw some darts at the board. And then school got really busy when I started to, move on to high school and then into university. And unfortunately, I wasn't able to practice as much as I would have loved to. And that kind of continues on into my adult career as a dart player as well, is just finding the time to do it. It's really, really tough. But you got to make time to do it. If you want to get better, you have to make that time to play.
Life gets in the way for sure. And when you're at the board practicing as a youth, how did you make it fun to stay on that board instead of just, getting bored in 10 minutes?
Honestly, I tried to get people to play with me. I would have people over if I could, or go to their house, or I had pretty close friends. I actually met my husband through darts. So when we started dating, we played all the time, whether he was at my house, whether I was at his house, we were always playing darts. So that competitiveness between the two of us has continued straight through. I still practice with him as often as possible. But as a youth, it was hard to practice because, like I said, with all the time needed for school and this, that, and the other, and then trying to be a kid too, right? Still, so maybe getting into a little trouble here and there, but
never.
Yeah.
Now, did you let him beat you at all playing darts?
Oh no. That is not allowed to happen.
Now, how did you prepare yourself before a big match, getting yourself focused?
I listened to a lot of music. Music was kind of my outlet to just decompress, no matter what it was in life. It was always listening to something in my age, it was Prozac and, you know, all the crazy bands that we listened to in the 90s, and maybe early 2000s. But yeah, music was definitely how I kind of decompressed and regained my focus. And yeah.
Now, on the line, when you're actually playing a game, we're not listening to music, of course. How did
Yeah.
you stay control those emotions while you're at the line?
I build walls. I am very good at that. I build walls and just ignore everything around me. I can't focus on what everybody else is doing. I don't even focus on the person that I'm playing score half the time, unless we get kind of close to, you know, double range or whatever. But I ignore other people playing. I just kind of block everything out. I don't know how I do it. It's just something that I've been really good at, which probably makes me an amazing nurse too. I get kind of that emotional block and not get too attached. And yeah, I just try to ignore things. It's really, really hard, especially when you've got people telling you, oh, maybe you should do this or maybe you should do that. It's like, no, let me play my game and just back off.
Well, that's some great advice. I know many people, we've got to learn. It's not just throwing darts, it's learning to control those emotions for sure.
It's a huge mind game, right? Like it's huge.
So, what's the best part of competing for you, and what's the most important part of darts?
The most part about darts for me is the sportsmanship that we see from most people. And trying to keep that sportsmanship alive is really, really hard. But to me, that's the most important. And the relationships, like I said, that you build with friends and stuff like that. But what was the other part of your question?
The best part of competing.
And the best part of competing is just that being able to have that outlet to kind of, you know, get away from life and get away from the craziness of life and just focus on something different for something to do, right?
Yeah.
Like just get away.
Yeah, that's great. And, you know, we always want to win, but we have to know how to win and learn how to lose as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So let's talk about your experience as a youth player playing with Darts Ontario. When did you first start playing youth zones and provincials?
As soon as I could. So when I was in youth, they weren't allowing us to play before we were 12. So the second that I was able to play, I was up there playing zones, and I really, really enjoyed that competitiveness and getting out and meeting new people and playing people who were better than me. It only made me better.
Yeah. So let's go right into 2003. You finished second in Ontario for senior female singles. Talk to us about that experience playing the provincials and your semifinals match, knowing if you win, you make Team Ontario, then take us to the finals on stage versus Christy McHattie.
Yeah, it was Christy.
Yeah.
So top four, that was tough. It was tough to keep my composure, especially considering the person that I was playing was my nemesis from day one.
And who was that?
I believe it was Ashley Power, if I'm not mistaken. She and I would always meet in top 8, top 4. Every single year we'd meet, and it would just be a struggle. And every bloody year she would beat me. And I don't know what sparked it, but in 2003, I was just like, no, it's not happening this year. I'm beating her. Enough is enough. And I took her, I think it was 3 out of 5 at that time. And I just took her 3 straight. I was like, I'm over it. Like, I'm done. But they were good games.
Yeah.
And then getting up on stage against Christy, I tanked. I think I took so much of my energy playing Ashley, and with her and I having such that competitiveness throughout our entire youth career at darts, that when I played her, it just took all I had. And then I got up on stage. I threw a 1 on stage. It was hilarious. I threw a dart behind the stage. Like, it was just, I tanked huge. That it was fun.
It happens.
It was fun.
Nerves
having the people watch you.
Yeah.
That's the difficult part, is you turn around and there's all these faces that are staring at you. And for me, I was the first one from our London League to actually even get that close. So I felt a lot of pressure to to play well when I was up on stage, because I'm the first one, especially as a female, the first one to go to nationals for your league. It's huge. It's a lot of pressure though.
Yeah, definitely. And after you, over the years, London has been a great league and has brought many to the team for sure.
Yeah.
So before we get to nationals, is there any other provincial results as a youth that really stand out for you?
The previous year I was top. I was joint third. Again, I had lost to Ashley Power that year. And I met John Part that year for the first time. And that to me was an experience. Like, he signed the bottom of my trophy. Like, it was so cool when you're a kid and watching them on TV, but then actually meeting them in person, it's just very, very different. So that was just another thing that kind of stood out to me. And then I met him later on, as an adult, and it's just a different dynamic when you meet somebody as an adult versus as a kid. Like, you watch him on TV, he's kind of your hero, and then you meet him, and yeah.
Yeah, it's great meeting someone that you follow on TV and you're a professional, and we kind of look out for those. So
Yeah.
Now in 2003, you went to nationals, which was in St. John, New Brunswick.
Yeah.
In senior mixed doubles, you made it to the finals with your partner Will Avey.
Yep.
But you dropped the finals to Terry Hayhurst and back again, Christy McCaddy.
Yeah.
Take us back to that finals, playing on stage against your Team Ontario teammates.
You know what? I don't remember a lot of it, to be honest. The whole nationals experience to me was very surreal. I, for whatever reason, just couldn't keep my head in the game. It was like, oh my God, I'm here. Like, I couldn't, I don't know. I couldn't get my darts together. I don't know. I don't even know how we made it to stage, to be honest with you. I'm pretty sure Will carried my butt the whole way.
Well, what else stands out at nationals? Like, you made the team, but what about maybe the team building activities, something like that?
Yeah, so we're always doing things collectively. We were supposed to do some stuff on I forget if it was the Friday night or the Saturday night, but then Zach Myatt ended up breaking his arm and having to go to the hospital. So that was kind of funny, actually. He was chasing Mindy down the hallway and then went into a wall and broke his arm. But just kind of having that relationship with everybody. And Will and I have not kept in touch at all. Terry, I talk to him from time to time, basically on Facebook, just through comments and stuff. But being together as a team and, being with Marjorie and stuff, Marjorie made that pretty amazing for us. She really went out of her way to make it good for us.
A lot of great memories with Marjorie taking the team to nationals for so many years.
Yeah.
Is there any other memories that stand out with playing youth darts before we get into the adults?
Not so much. Like I said, just the relationships and the people that you meet along the way, whether it's zone directors, whether it's leaders and other kids that you play with, that they're kind of lasting relationships and they all make an impact in one way or another. So
now moving into the adult program, tell us about the transition for you going to adults from youth.
I feel like everybody can kind of relate to this. Youth is very different from adults. You go into the adult program thinking, oh yeah, I'm good, I've got this. And then you get destroyed and you are just knocked back a few steps. Like you don't realize, you think that caliber is really, really good as a youth. And then you get to adults and you're just blown away. It's just very different. So
now, can you share with some highlights playing adult zones and provincials? And when was the last time you played Darts Ontario zones and provincials?
So it's been a while. I played, I want to say, just a couple of years after youth. And then I got married, I went to university, I had kids, and life kind of just took me in a different direction. For a little while, I kind of stuck with the youth program and being their leader and then being their zone director. But life just kind of took over, and that was more important. My kids were more important. So just this past year, we had decided, okay, we're going to do it again. And so we played mixed doubles together. Me being a zone director, I got to buy into the provincials. So we were planning on going anyways. But the caliber has changed again. Like it changes from year to year, and it's gotten so good that it's really, really tough. Zones are a tough thing. The ladies that I play against are amazing women. They can kick my butt on any given day. And I'll take it because, like I said, the only way I'm going to get better is to play people that are better than me. So yeah, the adult program is just very, very different. It's, yeah.
Did you play any other sports as a youth?
Not overly. I played some high school rugby, and then I blew out my knee, and that was fun. So I stopped playing rugby. I was more the artsy, geeky kid who didn't really do a whole lot of sports. I was more into, creating whatever I could out of anything. And so I kind of just went down that path more than anything. So,
well, I know you're a busy working mom now, but do you have any other hobbies besides darts?
I do actually. My husband and I just today launched our new little woodworking business. So we do a lot of just started out as a hobby. My husband does furniture. I do like wood signs and stuff like that. And we thought, you know what, let's try making something out of this. So we're starting that up. The boys and I, I've got them into baseball, and we love playing baseball and stuff outside. And I've got 2 dogs that I absolutely adore, and we do a lot with them too. And yeah.
Well, that's good. And your mother was the zone director for the youth for a while.
Yeah.
When did you start helping your mom with running the zones, and when did you take over?
Probably right as soon as I was out of youth, I started helping. And then I want to say 2 or 3 years into it, I took it over full time, with the help of my leaders in the London program too. I would not be able to do it on my own without them. So my mom stepped back for a little while, and she's been helping me again in the last few years. Just with life and stuff like that, it's easier just to have 2 of us with the kids and whatnot. So,
well, you guys you've done a great job, and really appreciate you doing that.
Thank you. We try our best. We just want to be there for the kids, right?
Now tell us about the experience running the zone each year and what it means to you.
It's busy. It's a lot of work. I don't think anyone really realizes how much goes into putting the zones together from your end and then translating down to us, especially right now in COVID times. This is trying to figure out what we're doing is, who knows what's going to happen, right?
Yeah.
But in previous years, it's a long day. It's a lot on the kids, but it's also a lot on the leaders too, right? They've got to be there for the kids. They've got to keep their emotions aside, as do I as a leader, because there's some of the kids that are friends of mine's kids, right? Like their sons and daughters are now playing, and just to watch that is an experience in itself. And I love to be a part of that.
You see the kids grow every year, and as they move on to the adult program as well. So
yeah.
Would you be playing in a league right now if it wasn't for COVID?
Oh, we are actually playing league in London.
Okay.
Our ladies league and men's league are both doing our weekly stuff. It's different. The venues have to be set up, and we had to make sure that all of our venues were appropriate to be socially distanced appropriately and stuff. And we're wearing masks. That's tough. Wearing a mask while you're trying to play darts. I'm somebody who, when I throw, I actually hit my face and then throw. So I've had to adjust because I'm wearing the mask now. And it interferes with it. So it's been tough, but we needed the social interaction, right? So we're always wearing masks the whole time we're playing. If we're seated, we're allowed to remove our masks. But yeah, it's bizarre.
Yeah. It's a whole different world right now. So now you've got a couple young children yourself, as you mentioned. Have they expressed interest in playing darts?
I mean, they try. They try and play at the board, but they get so excited when they hit the board that the next dart just goes flying, and it's like, okay, guys, like, let's just calm it down a little bit. We've got a few holes in places that we don't really want holes right now, but they want to play. They don't have the focus yet. So we keep trying every couple of weeks, every couple of months, okay, let's try again and see how you're doing. And Kyler's more into his video games, and Kennex would rather be playing ball or video games as well. So we'll see if they don't want to play, they don't want to play. I'm not going to push them.
No, maybe the next couple of years, maybe we'll see them at the London Youth Art League. It'd be great.
Yeah.
So, as we wrap this up, just one more question. Any advice you can give to the youth that have set their goals to make nationals like you did?
Just keep practicing. Practice makes perfect. Keep your head in the game, and just be you. That's the big thing. Play your own game. Don't pay attention to what everybody else is doing.
Yeah. Good advice. So really thank you for coming on, Jolene, and doing this. And we wish you all the best.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Hope you make your goals, and we hopefully you at some tournaments and provincials, and we'll go from there.
Definitely. Thanks so much.
Thank you. You have a good day.
You too.
That was great talking to Jolene and going down memory lane. A lot of great darts over the years. Thank you again for tuning in to one of our shows. Make sure you go to our website at www.dartsontario.ca to find out more information about our organization. Go to Facebook and hit the Darts Ontario page and hit like to get all the updates. Are you a current or former youth player in the Darts Ontario program? Would you like to be on one of our episodes? Please email me at youth@dartsontario.com. This is Shawn Irwin, your Darts Ontario Youth Director, and make sure you check out our next interview on episode 38 of Darts Ontario Let's Talk Darts. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.